Good morning, evening, and afternoon. I am the Professional, and in today's video, we are going to be covering everything about the new class in Lost Ark, the Destroyer. We're going to cover the general information about the class, its abilities, its builds, and its engravings. Literally everything that you need to know in order to maximize this class's potential. So let's get started. The Destroyer is a part of the warrior profession and only available as a male character. The Destroyer is primarily a tank, but he does deal high damage attacks. The Destroyer has high health, he generates shields, and has heavy hitting attacks that deal massive staggered damage. Due to being a bulky, high damage tank, he sacrifices his movement and attack speed, being the slowest of the other classes. The Destroyer has two different ability types: concentration skills, which are blue in color, and gravity release skills, which are purple in color. The Destroyer also has two different combat resources: gravity cores, which are the 3 bubbles on your identity gauge, and a gravity meter, which are the 2 bars that extend out and up from your gravity cores. Now, let's cover how these resources work. Your gravity meter will fill with every gravity release skill that you use. Your gravity cores can only be generated by using concentration skills. When you use a gravity release skill, it will consume however many gravity cores you have currently generated. The more gravity cores you have, the harder your gravity release ability will hit. So basically, to deal the most damage, you want to generate 3 gravity cores before using your gravity release skill. Not only do these gravity cores increase your overall damage output, but they also generate a shield around your character, absorbing damage that you take. Again, the more gravity cores you consume, the stronger the shield you will generate. Using 1 gravity core will increase your damage by 10% and generate a shield that is 10% of your maximum HP. 2 gravity cores will increase your damage by 25% and generate a shield that is 20% of your maximum HP. Consuming all 3 gravity cores will increase your damage by 45% and generate a shield that is 30% of your maximum HP. Now let's talk about the gravity meter. With every gravity release skill, your gravity meter will increase. Once your gravity meter is charged, you can activate hypergravity mode by pressing the Z key. When you enter hypergravity mode, it will generate a large area effect ring around you. This mode grants you a shield that will absorb tons of damage. You are also immune to debuffs, knockdowns, pushes, and other incoming negative effects. Basically, the ultimate tanking ability. Also, any enemies inside of this ring will suffer from movement and attack speed debuffs. When you are in hypergravity mode, you will only have access to auto attacks and 1 special ability. Your auto attacks become a repeated hammer smash. The longer you hold your auto attack, the faster your destroyer will attack. This mode greatly increases your DPS. The ability that becomes available is called Vortex Gravity. It is not ideal for bosses, but it is an AoE frontal hammer smash that pulls enemies towards you. You can exit hypergravity mode at any time by pressing the X key. The Destroyer has 2 class engravings: Rage Hammer and Gravity Training. Rage Hammer is the more optimal choice, which increases your overall damage when using gravity release skills. At max level, Rage Hammer grants an increased crit rate of 5% and an increase to crit damage by 15% per gravity core consumed. Gravity Training only benefits you when you are in hypergravity mode. At max level, the Gravity Training engraving passively fills your gravity meter by 2% every second. It gives your basic attacks and Vortex Gravity ability an additional 30% crit rate and increases the overall damage by 20%. So now let's cover the core abilities. Remember that your concentration skills generate gravity cores, which enhance your gravity release skills. Therefore, you want to have a balance of each. I'll list a basic starting tree with tripods and runes for you to copy. You can make adjustments as you see fit. The 4 main concentration skills. Jumping Smash is a gap closing ability where you jump and spin your hammer. This will generate 2 gravity cores if your attack fully connects with the enemy. Dreadnought is your primary counter ability where you smash your hammer and then jump smashing it again. This also reduces your damage taken by 30% and generates 2 gravity cores. Heavy Crush is a short cooldown gravity core generator. It is a simple hammer smash. Endure Pain is your taunt and setup ability. It makes you immune to pushes and reduces incoming damage by 40% for 5 seconds. This ability also generates 3 gravity cores. The 4 main gravity release skills. All of these abilities generate very high stagger. Perfect Swing is a 2-level charge ability. You will advance forward a short distance, inflicting charge damage, and then swing your hammer for big damage. You can release after 1 charge for reduced damage, but ideally, of course, you want to overcharge it. Seismic Hammer is an AoE ability. You will jump up and smash your hammer into the ground, creating a shockwave ring around you. Earth Eater is a charge ability. You smash your hammer behind you, dealing damage, charge, and then release a heavy smash in front of you which extends for extra damage. You want to position yourself so that the first area hit and the second area hit both connect to the boss for full damage and stagger. Full Swing is a whirlwind movement ability. With the tripod Scary Hammer, each attack you land increases the overall damage by 10% up to a max of 60%. With the additional tripod Beast's Eye, this increases the total attacks to 7 times, which really allows that damage to increase. You have 2 awakening abilities. The Big Bang. This is the best choice for both builds. Press and hold your awakening button to begin charging the ability. The longer you hold the charge, the more damage you will deal. You can move while charging, although you will be moving at a much slower rate. During the charge, you are immune to debuffs, pushes, and other move speed reductions. You also reduce all incoming damage by 50%. Once the charge is complete, it outbursts a huge damage area. Terra Break. This is a very long animation awakening skill. You will smash your hammer in the ground, it will project a low gravity cracked area of effect, you will then swing upwards, which hits that complete area, picking enemies up. You will then jump into the air and smash your hammer into the center. This is great for trash mobs and chaos dungeons. This is not ideal for bosses, as the boss will be able to still move and could just run out of the area before you deal the real damage. For your runes, you want to focus on Gale Wind to increase skill charge time, Rage to increase your attack and move speed, and Quick Recharge to reduce your cooldowns. Okay, so now let's cover both of the builds. Unlike other classes, your abilities don't really change between each of the builds, as you always want to keep a balance between your concentration and your gravity release skills. The Hammer Rage build. Your stat focus should be primarily on crit rate, followed by a more even split between specialization and swiftness. Your main engraving priority should be Supercharge, Grudge, Barricade, and Master Brawler. The Gravity Training build. Your stat focus should be primarily specialization, followed by crit. Your main engraving priority should be Barricade, Grudge, Master Brawler, and Spirit Absorption. Just some final notes here. The Destroyer is a class that relies on knowing boss fights in order to maximize its potential. Due to their slow movement and attacks, your positioning is the most important aspect of every fight. Missing an attack greatly reduces your overall DPS, especially if you miss a 3-core gravity release ability. Use your taunt skill to ensure that you are connecting with your burst damage attacks. That is pretty much everything you need to know about the Destroyer class. It's a big, beefy tank with high damage numbers. What are your thoughts on the Destroyer? Are you going to power pass it, or are you just not really bothering with it? Let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. I appreciate you guys and gals. Happy raiding.